And with that, we're ready for the first speaker.
Thank you.
12 cards, Mr. Mayor.
David Paul. I thought I'd have you first this time. Actually, Ron thought he'd have you first this time.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, good evening. I saw a lot of wonderful things here tonight. It's the reason I come, and I thank you. I found this thought from the day in the paper. It says, life is a tragedy full of joy. I think the tragedy is most people don't know the wonder and joy that life allows. And that's why I talk about the love of the law. Councilwoman Marcus, I'm so glad to see you back. I've been sitting on some Cicero for a while. I appreciated you bringing him up, and I wanted to call and raise you one, but this is just the raise. True law is right reason in agreement with nature. The task of justice is therefore to discover the nature of things in a given situation, rather than impose upon it preconceived solutions, supplied either by revelatory insights or logical deductions. Now, I've mentioned before the organization L.E.A.P, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and this is one of the things that is on one of these sites. It says, it's a quote from Einstein, and it's his first impression of the United States from 1921. It says, the prestige of government has undoubtedly been lowered considerably by the prohibition law, for nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. It is an open secret that the dangerous increase in crime in this country is closely connected with this. So we get back to this situation. My heart grieved when I saw the presentation by those children about people dying from distracted drivers, drunk drivers, impaired drivers, and that's what the Human Accountability Project technical part was about. We have the technological possibility today to prevent a single drunk driver from getting behind the wheel. And so I see the problems even trying to bring a sensible solution like solar energy. How could we get past this people's right to think that it's an infringement to impose any restrictions on their driving? So that's a tough one. I realize that. But I guess what I'm trying to really say is that, and this is from the Human Accountability Project, for most of us, the greatest joy of the human experience comes from the connection we feel when we care about others. And that incident on TV last week with the rollover of that van after the guy almost ran down the officer trying to throw the spike strip. See, there shouldn't be an officer out there trying to throw a spike strip. We should be able to shut off a car like that from a satellite. And the benefits to society from having that fair and consistent thing in traffic overrides any limits that people perceive would be put upon them. A couple of weeks ago, a month ago, 2 ago, I was ecstatic for about 3 hours when the Transportation Secretary, Ray LaHood, announced that they would use the GPS trackers in cars currently to log the miles and have the mileage tax. And then 3 hours later, they came out with a correction on that. But, you know, I just want us to understand that we have it within our power to bring people in, and I guess what I'm going to wait for is other speakers to see what they say, but I did find a double-blind study for medical marijuana online, and you know, I don't know. I just want safe access for these people that need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul.